What's happening, everyone? I'm Jordan, and this is Front Run Tech. And are the markets about to crash? We've got a lot of war fears going on, and are the markets in big trouble? That's what we're going to take a look at here today. All right, so we'll start off here with the Bitcoin chart. This is the Bitcoin 8-hour chart, and Bitcoin has been dumping pretty nicely here. You can see this yellow circle here is actually something from a post that I made on X earlier this morning before the dump happened. I was kind of circling this area as a potential area that Bitcoin could head down to. Um, if you're not following on the socials, you can find the links to the Front Run Tech X page and Instagram page in the details of this video. You can also find it in the description of the channel. All right, but we'll go ahead and delete that for now. So Bitcoin had been holding the break of this shorter term descending parallel channel. You could see right here, here, it kept bouncing off of there, but it was looking weak as it was not able to really extend upwards. And then it finally just busted through that channel here today and gap down all the way to the next level down here. So we'll go ahead and delete the channel. And you can see Bitcoin is trying to find some support here right around this 98.5, 99,000 level. And this is a double support level. The bullish case here would be that Bitcoin can hold here. And we've got this nice descending parallel channel going on of consolidation, which would still be a bullish look. So that's what we'd be hoping for. Now, if Bitcoin does go ahead and dump further and break down from these levels, then we're going to have to be looking all the way down here at around 95.7 or so for the next support. And if it does lose these levels, you could see it probably waterfall down there rather quickly. All right, so here on the 8-hour chart, as of now, Bitcoin still looks fine even with the dump, but with the war stuff going on, we could potentially see more bad short-term price action. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily real quick for Bitcoin. This is the daily chart, and somewhat similar. You can see the daily parallel channel chart right here, and Bitcoin is currently testing the bottom of that descending parallel channel on the daily. We've got the daily close coming in about 5 hours tonight. We'll see if it holds here. All right, that's pretty much going to be everything here on the daily chart. If you see Bitcoin break and close below this channel, that wouldn't be a great look. And you could see it come down and test this area around 96.8. All right. If we just take a look at the Bitcoin weekly chart real quick, you can see it's kind of concerning here on the weekly chart because we're losing this horizontal level that it was trying to hold after the break above. There isn't too much support underneath it. You could call this a little bit of support right around 92K on the weekly. That would be much more of a dump. Maybe you could see it setting up an inverse head and shoulders here, but it looks like we're probably going to get a pretty bearish candle close here on the weekly, which that weekly candle is closing tonight at the same time that the daily candle closes tonight. All right, so we'll see what happens. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market. It's obviously not open, but we're going to look at where we're sitting today before this upcoming week starts. All right, let's take a look at the S&P here on the daily chart. So the S&P has been on a very nice rise and recovery coming off the tariff crisis low right here. And you can see it potentially starting to roll over here. And with the way Bitcoin has dumped today on Sunday and the war stuff, that's probably a sign that the stock market is going to open up red tomorrow. So we could be potentially looking at a move all the way back down to this 5,800 range where the support is. Um, so it is very overextended in the short term. This has been a very aggressive move back up. So now that we're getting a little bit of fear in the market, it wouldn't be surprising at all to see a further pullback here on the S&P. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks almost the same. You could see it potentially possibly rolling over, not able to take out the all-time high yet. And it does have this trend line of support possibly if it were to come down. But a move all the way down to this horizontal level would be a pretty sharp pullback down to like 20,700. So again, with the short-term fear in the market, with the way Bitcoin has dumped on Sunday, not feeling too great about the S&P and the NASDAQ tomorrow morning, but we'll see what happens. All right. Let's take a look at let's get a good look at gold here. This is the gold 8-hour chart. All right, gold it's been coming off this breakout, right? It had the big move and then it had some consolidation here, some bullish consolidation in this descending parallel channel. Gold got the breakout here, all right? On the breakout, had a perfect retest of the break and then extended up, was able to set a new high over here. Since then, it's been pulling back quite a bit. It did break down from the first ascending trend line right here, which at the time I was posted on X that even with the breakdown, this horizontal level right beneath is pretty important, and that you could likely see gold try and hold this horizontal level, and that we might be looking at some more sideways chop with gold, and that is what happened here. Gold did get a nice bounce. It held this horizontal level for now. Might just be looking at some more consolidation here on gold. If it does lose this horizontal level though, all right, then we could be likely looking at a pullback all the way to the main trend line that it's tested a few times here. And any time that gold has come into this trend line recently, that has been a spot where I have said publicly that I would want to add on tests of this trend line, and I have added there. And so if we were to get another test of that trend line, that would be a key spot to see if it holds again or not. All right. Other than that, though, gold is still on a breakout after consolidation. It still looks fine for now. So we can take a quick look at silver. Silver has finally picked up here after kind of lagging gold for quite a while. It had a big breakout finally above this kind of $35 level, and it's kind of up here in no man's land right now here on the 8-hour chart. You know what, let's look at silver here on the weekly chart. I think the weekly chart here on silver gives us a really good look. All right. You can see silver was having some trouble here at this horizontal level here on the weekly. It was kind of attacking that level, getting rejected, attacking it, getting rejected. It finally broke above it with some aggression, which was a very good sign. You could see this level on the weekly chart is pretty important. It extends all the way back here to 2010. All right. So silver with that break, that was a very big deal. Now what we want to see is we want to see that break hold. Even if you get a big pullback on the weekly here into this level, that would be totally fine. You would just want to see silver flip this level into support and then continue upwards if it did do that. And if it does hold this break above this level, then really there's nothing keeping it from the high over here, the all-time high of $50. And I do think that $50 for silver is probably imminent here at some point, hopefully in the next year or so. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY. We got something interesting going on, the DXY 8-hour. So the DXY has been pretty bearish for quite a while as we've been tracking. Again, if you're not following on X, go follow the Front Run Tech X page. There's real-time updates there on the markets all the time. But the DXY finally looks like it could be bottoming here in the short term. And the reason would be you've got this bottoming setup right here with the boom, a low, a slightly lower low, and then you get the breakout of the downtrend, which this trend line, it's been getting rejected at this trend line, and now it's finally broken out from this trend line, and you can see it's holding on the retest so far. It's still above this trend line. So if this breakout has legs, you would expect this upcoming week to start off pretty bullish for the DXY. If you don't see that, all right, if we see the DXY start this week off bearish and pull back below this trend line, then that probably looks like a fake out, and we're probably just going to see a further continuation of the downtrend, right? But for now, this is the bullish break still in progress. And again, this is another thing that could be signaling that the markets might be in a little bit of short-term trouble, but we'll have to see. So all in all, the markets do look a little sketchy here in the short term. All right. And I just want to say this though. One thing regarding Bitcoin, um, as far as the strategy of holding Bitcoin as your savings, I think it's pretty dumb to sell Bitcoin because of war fears and stuff. And the reason why is because yes, it can cause some short-term price action that is unfavorable for Bitcoin, but any type of war stuff that might be going on or getting escalated, all that means is that it's going to ensure that an even greater magnitude of money printing is going to have to be done to pay for all this war stuff, all right? And that's just, there's no way around that. And the fiscal situation and the debt situation and the government spending situation is already absolutely atrocious and completely bullish for Bitcoin over the next, 1 to 5 years without any type of war or stuff. So any type of war escalation is actually just going to magnify the amount of money printing that is to come. So as long as you understand that stuff as far as your Bitcoin that's kind of in cold storage and is just your savings, I wouldn't be worried at all about short-term price action regarding all the fear in the market. Just understand what's coming, understand what you hold, and that's that. So we took a look at the markets. Markets could be a little shaky for the short term, for the foreseeable future. We'll see how the TradFi markets and the stock market open up tomorrow. And yeah, so hope you guys appreciated the video. We'll keep doing these real-time market update videos and keep watching what's going on. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next time.